Good day, Nigerians. There are serious and harsh human conditions no responsible government on this planet Earth should allow to fester. Government has certain contractual obligations with the people. In every contract, either parties have certain obligations, enjoy certain rights, and can seek nullification should they feel compelled to do so. If the other party fails to live up to its agreed obligations, given this affirmation, it is most important that the Nigerian government live up to its obligations by initiating a nationwide social program aimed at addressing the inequities in our society and poverty as a whole. The disparity in wealth in our nation is troubling, and the passivity of our people is suicidal. Unfortunately for everyone, we all share common enemies. No group is ever safe from the hazards and epidemics that make life so uncertain. From crime that are offshoots of poverty, the AIDS epidemic, and other diseases, they do not know any economic boundaries. Poverty is contagious, and if we continue to ignore the ramifications, we will ultimately fall on our own swords. Our nation has enough resources to guarantee everyone the basics of life. In the light of this irrefutable truth, our government must rise up and confront poverty like it will confront a war, and prosecute it until all men and women are free from poverty. We must set certain standards that truly recognize certain conditions as legally unacceptable. A variety of social safety nets for all Nigerians living below recognized poverty lines. There are so many Nigerian families today who have no single employed member, no visible means of income. Government must skillfully identify those at the very bottom of the echelon and offer them lasting assistance in a variety of ways that uplift them and improve their quality of life. The child that we ignore today is the menace of society tomorrow. The young girl that we turn our back today is the same that spreads incurable diseases on the long run. I continue to read and yes, understand the many dreams of our present federal government. They are laudable indeed, and good for the news and on paper. But how willing is government to efficiently accomplish these vast objectives? And while we can wait for dreams and ambitions to actualize, our government must quickly acknowledge and confront the harsh realities of life at this very moment. The unfortunate dysfunction of our law enforcement community does not need years to address. Our bad roads do not need major budgets if government inspects and maintains them daily. Food need not be so expensive if government has a robust plan for maximum productivity. Our healthcare need not be an almost guaranteed means of death. These problems and other multitude of problems only need efficient administrative procedures, and efficiency does not require dreams and ambitions. It is a way of conducting institutions' affairs. It is a clear choice, and our nation must embrace it. Given this backdrop, the need for an efficient social welfare system that aims to relieve our people of the crushing weight of poverty is right for Nigeria. Many advanced nations of the world have long embraced this idea. Our national and state governments must sadly take bold steps to identify those areas they need to invest in to reduce human suffering. Subsidizing public transportation and ensuring our roads are daily repaired is cost effective and good for the average poor Nigerian than seeking new massive budgets to rebuild them after years of neglect. The problem with our physically and mentally challenged are so overt, and government must recognize it as a social problem. They are obviously perceived as individual families' problems, but that ought not to be the case. The state and federal governments have direct responsibility toward this segment of our population. They cannot and ought not to be quarantined, neither be allowed to roam our streets, begging, but rather be cared for in institutions or homes. They ought to be guaranteed proper health care, good nutrition, and continued rehabilitation at the expense of government. Diseases and illnesses have been made worse by prevailing economic conditions, claiming life so indiscriminately, and yet we hardly see any meaningful response from our government. Every Nigerian child should have access to free and health education. It is by all means a part of social development for our nation to address the health needs of all her citizens. Again, even the most advanced nations of the world, the most capitalist of them all, promote and invest in this idea. I'm aware that our federal government has long offered free treatment to individuals with AIDS, but in my opinion, that does not go far enough. Given the economic conditions, this initiative or measure should be extended to all illnesses and diseases through a nationwide health insurance program administered by the government. A federal social services ministry has the potential to absorb over 65,000 of our unemployed adults as social workers and caseworkers, delivering services and equally paying taxes and reducing unemployment. Investing in public housing for the underemployed is also another means of alleviating the burden of the working poor. I remember being told a story of a young man paid 10,000 naira monthly as a security guard in Abuja. My people, that's abusive. Tell me the quality of life he or she will enjoy. The federal government can move to build public houses for our low-income earners in every commercial city in the nation. Can you imagine over 100,000 housing units in Abuja reserved for the poor and low-income earners, couples, single men, and women? With such subsidized housing, many poor Nigerians will have a better quality of life and resources to expend for other household expenditures. Even as Nigerians die in unprecedented numbers across all ethnic groups, our government remains inactive and absent from the front lines. It is ever crucial that our various levels of government begin to pay serious attention to this unfortunate trend. While we all know that there are a host of problems and factors culminating in this unprecedented life uncertainty, there are measures worth taking on the part of any responsible government. I'm yet to see any government articulate this concern and move further to seek the culprits in the form of medical research and studies, gathering and comparing data to pinpoint any commonalities. Any meaningful government is ever alert or rather watching for any dangerous life-threatening trends. Quite often, our people have been led or rather misled to believe a good government is one that builds mighty infrastructure. The health and general well-being of the men and women of any society should receive utmost priority. It is the real human resources. Our elderly and older population equally cannot be neglected. The time is long overdue for government to devise ways to basically prolong all lives. From basic nutrition to health care management, we all have a vested interest in seeing that our average lifespan is greatly increased. Be as it may be, government should assume new responsibilities towards the overall welfare of our people, from child care, meaningful education, health care, financial assistance to the unemployed, public housing, care for the disabled, senior citizen care, environmental concerns, increasing economic activities, ensuring great respect for the law. We must all seek new beginnings. We must move from pipe dreams to real achievements. So much has been said and done. Funds earmarked, disbursed for fairy tale projects, castles in the air, and yet our progress remains invisible. When will our government wake up and aggressively take steps to assist all Nigerians find a basic life's true happiness? How many years must we live before we acknowledge all these problems? When will the people have a chance at just having a piece of this national cake that a few have long held monopoly over? When will our government realize that efficiency is the greatest tool for nation building? When are we going to move from rhetoric to keeping promises? When? Thank you, and may God bless you.